I booked over 1,000 calls using the same proven cold email template, and today I'm giving it to you for free. No fluff, no fake advice, just a simple, battle-tested template that you can copy, tweak, and start using right away to land more meetings. Now, I know there are a ton of cold email templates floating around the internet, but most of them, they don't actually work. They're either way too generic, way too long, or they completely miss the mark when it comes to what actually gets a prospect to respond. This template though, it's different. I've used this exact template with over 20 clients and it's helped them book mind-boggling results. We're talking high-value meetings on demand. And the best part, you don't need to manually personalize every email because with AI, you can now fill in every variable dynamically, making each email feel like it was written just for the recipient while still sending at massive scale. That means you get the best of both worlds, one-to-one personalization with the efficiency of automation. By the end of this video, you won't just have a cold email template that actually works, you'll also understand why it works so you can tweak it for your own business, your own niche, and your own offer. On top of that, I'm going to show you how to automate the entire process so you're not just sitting there manually sending emails all day. Imagine booking meetings on autopilot where every email you send is optimized for response, fully personalized and completely hands-off. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about why cold emails fail, because the reality is most people are doing this completely wrong. They spend time crafting emails that don't optimize for responses. They write long, detailed messages, assuming that if they just explain their offer clearly enough, people will book a call. But that is not how cold email works at all. They also fail to target the right people. Their emails go out to random businesses with no real personalization or relevance. They're basically shouting into the void, hoping someone somewhere will be interested. And one of the biggest mistakes, they make the email about them instead of the prospect. Nobody cares about your company, your experience, or your services, at least not yet. The only thing they care about is how you can help them solve a problem or reach a goal, and that's exactly what this template is designed to fix. Now that you know why most cold emails fail, let's talk about the structure of an email that actually works. Instead of guessing what to say or writing long unstructured messages, you want to follow a proven framework, one that is built to grab attention, spark curiosity, and make it almost effortless for your prospect to reply. The framework I use is simple but powerful, and it consists of 5 elements. First, the subject line. This is the first thing your prospect sees, and its only job is to get them to open the email. If they never open it, nothing else matters. Next, the personalized line. This is where you immediately establish that this email was specifically written for them. A good personalized line makes the email feel natural and increases the chances of getting a response. If done right, it helps you break through the noise of their inbox. Then we have the attention-grabbing sentence. This is where you clearly communicate what you do in a way that speaks directly to their goals or pain points. The goal here is to make them feel like this email was written for them and that you understand what they need. After that comes proof and credibility. This is the part where you back up your claims with real results you've achieved for others. It could be a quick case study, a past success story, or even social proof that reassures them you know what you're doing. Without proof, your email is just another cold pitch. Finally, to wrap the template off, we end with a call to action or CTA. This is what tells the prospect what to do next. And the key here is that you don't want to ask for a call right away because that's a huge commitment for a cold lead. Instead, you want to lower the friction and make it as easy as possible for them to respond. The reason we stick to a framework like this is simple. It gives you a repeatable, scalable process for writing cold emails that actually work. And more importantly, it allows you to test and tweak different elements to see what gets the best results. If your email isn't getting opens, you can just adjust the subject line. If people open but don't reply, maybe the hook isn't strong enough. If responses are low quality, you might need to improve your proof or CTA. This is how you go from random cold outreach to a systematic way of booking meetings consistently. Now, let's break each of these down and go through real examples so you can see exactly how to write a cold email that does get results. Let's start with the first and most important part of your email, the subject line. This is the first thing your prospect sees, and it determines whether they even open your email in the first place. You could have the best cold email in the world, but if the subject line doesn't work, they'll never read it. Most people make a critical mistake with their subject lines, and that is why their emails go unopened. The biggest mistake is trying to sell right away. If your subject line says anything like, "we can help you get more leads," that is an instant red flag for delete. It screams sales pitch, and people are becoming more and more resistant to marketing heavy emails. Another mistake is making your subject line way too long. Your prospect is skimming their inbox, not reading a novel. If they have to work to understand what your email is about, they'll for sure skip it. And finally, you don't want it to sound like a marketing email. The moment it feels like a promotion, it gets ignored. Instead, you want your subject line to feel natural, like it's coming from a coworker or a friend, not a random sales rep. So, what is the right approach? Keep it short, casual, and curiosity driven. You want the prospect to feel like they recognize it, or at least be intrigued enough to open it. The best performing subject lines are the ones that feel effortless, almost like an internal message someone at their company might send them. I've written down a few simple but highly effective examples. First one being thoughts, first name, question mark. This one works well because it's open-ended and makes them wonder, thoughts on what? Next, first name, question mark. A short, personal subject line that feels like an email from someone they might already know. Then ideas for first name. This sparks curiosity. What kind of ideas? Ideas about what? And then lastly, video for first name. If you're including a loom or another video, having a subject line like this makes it feel personal and worth opening. The key takeaway here is that your subject line is not the place to sell. It is simply there to get the email opened. Once they're inside, that's when the real work begins. Now that we have covered the subject line, let's talk about the personal line. The very first sentence inside your email. This line instantly signals to your prospect that this message was written just for them, not blasted to 100 other people. A well-crafted, personalized line dramatically increases response rate because it makes the recipient feel seen and valued. But if you get this wrong, it can significantly hurt your chances. Generic lines like, "hey, noticed you work at," or "saw you are job title at company," add no value and make your email look like a bad copy-paste job. The right approach is to mention something specific and relevant, something they recognize as a real human observation. For example, you might say, "saw your LinkedIn post about the home you built. Absolute fire." Or 2,523 Google reviews. You guys are crushing it. These lines show that you've taken time to understand what's important to them. But here's the challenge. If you're sending hundreds of emails per week, you simply don't have the time to research every lead manually. I get it. Without a system, personalizing at scale becomes either a huge time sink or results in generic messages that get ignored. That is where automation comes in. Let me show you how I automate this process using N8N. The workflow you see on screen scrapes multiple data sources, pulling in leads from our CRM and scans their digital footprint for the most relevant personalization points. It looks at recent LinkedIn posts, company updates, website headlines, and other public information. Then AI analyzes that data and generates a natural sounding first line that feels genuinely personal. For example, if a prospect has posted about a hiring milestone, the AI might craft something like, "hey, saw your team just grew by 5 new members. Looks like you guys are scaling." Now, here's something really exciting. All of these workflow templates and strategies that I'm showing you today aren't just one-off tips. They're part of my complete system, and I show everything inside of my school community. This community is where I put every tool and resource I use to land clients. So whether you're just starting out or looking to scale your business further, the school community is the fastest way to land your first client or even more clients. because I share every strategy that helped me personally grow my business to $80,000 a month in just 7 months. Inside the community, you get exclusive access to the following: all of my proven email templates that have delivered mind-boggling results for my clients, detailed workflows like the N8N automations I just showed you that personalize emails at scale without sacrificing that human touch, step-by-step training on how to build a high-quality prospect list, which is critical if you're not already sending out cold emails, ongoing support and insights from a community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are all on the same journey. So I urge you to go check it out if you want to. With that out of the way, let's move on to the next critical piece, the attention-grabbing sentence. Once you've opened the email with a strong personalized line, you need to hook them further by speaking directly to their needs. Because remember, the sole goal of your cold email is to get a response, not to close a deal right away, but to start a conversation. Many people mess this up by trying to sell too quickly or by writing too much. They make the email all about themselves when really it should be about the prospect's pain points and desired outcomes. I use a proven messaging formula. We help a specific audience achieve desirable outcome using unique mechanism in time frame. And again, I automate this process with N8N. This workflow scrapes LinkedIn, company websites, and other relevant sources to automatically fill in the variables, industry details, pain points, and desired outcomes so that every opening statement is hyper relevant. For instance, if the system detects that a SaaS startup is struggling with churn, it might generate an opening line like, "We help SaaS founders reduce churn and increase MRR by automating their customer onboarding process, all in 30 days. If it finds a real estate agent aiming to dominate the market, it might say something like, "We help real estate agents dominate their local market and close more deals using our YouTube flywheel in just 120 days. And for a home service business, it could produce, "We help home service businesses get a steady flow of booked homeowner appointments to boost sales using our authority blueprint, all in 90 days. By automating these elements, every email feels handcrafted and hyper relevant, even when you're sending hundreds at a time. And remember, all these workflows, templates, and strategies are available to you in my school community, where I reveal every tactic that's helped me scale my own business. At this point, we have grabbed their attention with a strong personalized opening and clearly stated how we can help them. But if we stop here, there's still one major problem. We haven't given them a reason to believe us. And that's where proof and credibility come in. When you are sending a cold email, the recipient doesn't know you. They have no idea if what you're offering actually works. So this part of the email builds trust and eliminates doubt. More importantly, it creates a sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, for those who didn't know. If they see other businesses just like theirs are already getting results, they'll naturally start wondering if they're missing out by not paying attention. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The biggest mistake people make is skipping this part entirely, assuming the prospect will just take their word for it. The second biggest mistake is being vague. Saying something like, "We've helped businesses grow," is meaningless. It doesn't tell the reader anything concrete, and it doesn't give them confidence that you can actually deliver. So how do you do it right? Keep it simple and keep it specific. I use a straightforward credibility formula. We just helped company type achieve specific result in time frame without common pain point. Here's what that looks like in action. First example is, we just helped a home service company double their booked appointments in 90 days without spending a dime on ads. Another one is, we just helped company name increase sales by 40% in 90 days without hiring more sales reps. And lastly, we just helped a real estate agent land 10 new listings in 30 days without relying on cold calling. This works so incredibly well because it's crystal clear. It tells the reader exactly who you've helped, exactly what the result was, and how long it took, while also addressing a common frustration they most likely have. This isn't about writing long case studies. It's about dropping just enough proof to make them think, okay, this is real. And that's all you need to get them interested. Now that we've built trust and credibility, the last step is the call to action, the part where we get them to actually respond. And this is where a lot of people make critical mistakes that kill their chances of getting a reply. The biggest mistake being asking for a call right away. If you end your email with something like, do you have 15 minutes tomorrow? Or I'm free Thursday at 2 p.m. Does that work? You're asking for way too much, way too soon. Think about it from the prospect's perspective. They don't know you. They're busy, and booking a call with a stranger feels like a pretty serious commitment. So what do? They ignore the email. The second mistake is being too vague, saying something like, is this something you'd be interested in? That's an easy email to ignore because there's no real action step. So what is the right way to do it? Lower the friction. Instead of asking them to jump on a call, we want to spark curiosity and offer something valuable first. Here's what that looks like in practice. Could I shoot you a quick Loom video walking through how this works? Or just created a short explainer video on this. Want me to send it over? Or another one is made a personalized video on how you can apply this. Should I send it? Notice how these all feel casual and low pressure. Instead of asking for a meeting, you're offering them something helpful with no obligation. It is a simple yes or no question, which makes it easier for them to reply. And once they say yes, now you have an engaged prospect. Someone who has shown interest, which makes it 10 times easier to move them toward a call. Don't push for a call up front. Don't be fake. Instead, create curiosity. Offer value first and make it ridiculously easy for them to say yes. Now, let us take a step back and see how all the pieces fit together. Sometimes, even after a solid email with strong personalization, proof, and a clear call to action, prospects might still hesitate. Maybe they're skeptical, maybe they've been burned before, or maybe they just need one more little push to take action. And that is where the PS line comes in. A well-placed PS can reinforce your message, reduce risk, and make it even easier for them to say yes. It works especially well if you're offering a guarantee or a results-based model because it removes any lingering doubts. Here are a couple of simple but effective PS lines. PS, we only get paid if we bring you 10 plus customers in 30 days. Or PS, no upfront fees, we only win if you do. Notice how these lines do two things at once. They eliminate risk while reinforcing the credibility of your offer. If a prospect was on the fence, this little extra push might be all they need to respond. It is only a simple tweak, but it can dramatically improve response rates, especially with skeptical prospects. And with that, you now have the full framework for writing high converting emails. Let's do a quick recap of the full cold email framework so you can start using it right away. Everything starts with the subject line. This is what gets your email opened. Keep it short, casual, and curiosity driven so it doesn't feel like a sales pitch. Next, we had the personalized line. This is optional, but if done right, it makes the email feel truly one-to-one, increasing your chances of getting a response by a lot. The key here is to mention something specific and relevant to them. Then we move into the attention-grabbing sentence. This is where you speak their language and immediately show them that you understand their pain points and their goals. Instead of talking about yourself, make it all about them and what they want to achieve. After that comes proof and credibility. This is what should make them trust you. It is not enough to just say you can help. You need to show them real, measurable results from past clients. A simple one-liner with specific numbers is enough to create confidence and FOMO. And finally, the call to action. Instead of pushing for a call right away, you must lower the friction by offering a small next step, like a short video or quick explanation. This makes it easy for them to say yes, which is all we need to start a conversation. Now, if you're already sending cold emails, you can literally copy and paste this framework and start using it immediately. But if you're new to cold email or haven't seen results yet, the first thing you need is a high quality prospect list. Because even the best cold emails won't work if you're sending it to the wrong people. So if you need help with that, I've got a full tutorial inside of my school community. Check out the link below and I'll walk you through the process step by step. Now, all that's left is to implement this, start sending emails, and let me know how it works in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you found this video valuable, please hit like and subscribe. I'd also love for you to join my school community where I share every template, workflow, and strategy that helped me scale my business. Drop a comment if you'd like me to review your email template. I'm here to help you refine your approach and land even more clients. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.